So, of course, mistakenly, I thought that as cold as the temps were this weekend, the parking lot wouldn't be crowded. Guessed wrong. Anyway, still glad to be out, all packed up, truck's locked, keys verified 16 different times, and ready to hit one of my favorite trails. So, doing the Three Ridges loop, going between the Mau-Har Field Shelter, the Harper's Creek Shelter, and using the Blue Blaze, which is the Mau-Har Trail, or otherwise known as the Mau-Har Trail. It's scenic, but yeah, the whole hike is pretty challenging. And when I haven't been out for a while and I've been a little lazy, this is the one I like to do. Plus I want to see if these barefoot shoes I've been wearing daily have been paying off, keeping my legs in shape. So anyway, we're off. Alright, so if not the summit, very close to the summit of, I believe, B Mountain. Been here quite a few times before, so of course I didn't even bother bringing a paper map, which would have been nice to reference the summits, but I do have my GPS and I know the trails well enough, but again, not completely confident, and the actual summit might be just a little up ahead, but it's basically a ridge walk section on a saddle or something along those lines right here. So first one down, more or less, and on to the Mau-Har Field Shelter now, and we'll see if the spring is running. Not a bad time of year as far as the leaf colors go. Lots of yellow out. Still plenty of leaves on the trees, still some green leaves up there. But it's been mild until recently, and I think we've just had some cold fronts coming through suddenly, and the temps have dropped this past week for sure. But anyway, hike's going pretty well so far. Looking forward to the vistas. Hiking works. I filled up a little extra water at the Mau-Har Field Shelter because this is usually dry this time of year, and I really like this water source, but it's not dependable. But I like it because it basically comes out of the base of a tree, and then there's another one on the way down from Three Ridges that's very similar to this, as you can see, right at the bottom of the tree. I know it's silly, but I think it's cool. So that's a good sign that Harper's Creek is gonna be running strong. If that one's flowing, water is not going to be a problem on this trip. And I probably could dump some, but I think I'd rather just save it and chug some water at the summit and have a snack instead. Carry it in my body instead of in my pack. Came to a set of steps, and I was like, no way I made it that far already. Now this was the section I was thinking about. It goes on a switchback right up at the top of the steps. And then you get to the first vista, which is one of the better ones. I'm hoping I can spot Chimney Rock this hike. I miss it almost every time, but the view is worth the effort to find it. So we'll see. Anyway, off to the vista.
Which I still hope to get to at some point because you were like, yeah,
first vista, which is probably one of the best views, like I said. It's a little crowded, a little noisy. So I didn't talk during the video there, but decided got some ground to cover. I'm gonna have some more views that likely won't have people at them, because I think most people who are day hiking hike out to that vista and then back. Whew. See if I can find Chimney Rock. Because like I said, that view is definitely worth it, but it's easy to walk past. You know, almost to the summit of Three Ridges. A little bit further to go, and then start climbing down into Harper's Creek, the summit of Three Ridges Mountain. And like I said, the summit itself is pretty boring, but the views in between the summits are pretty awesome. I think most people think that last vista is the summit point, which is what I thought initially. When you look at the map, it's basically right here. The trail sign up there telling you the distance to Harper's Creek. If you take a right and go downhill and go through a boatload of switchbacks, basically. I made it into Switchback Central faster than expected. There's two like little spots up on the summit that are good to just take a break real quick. And there were some folks in the campsite that's right on the summit. And so I walked past, I think I'll just stop in the next spot. And then there's an even bigger group at the second one. It's really crowded today, which kind of surprised me. I thought with the cold weather, this weekend would be a little less crowded. But, you know, it's good to see more people getting out on the trails. I think you know, the lack of other opportunities over the past year due to the pandemic are why that's the case. And so we'll see how many folks stick with it. There'll be a lot of new people in the community, I would imagine. So anyway, I'm gonna keep going on for a little bit and find a good place to sit down, get a little snack, rest the legs. But right now it's all descent, so it's just going to be brutal on the knees for a bit. They were getting a little tired of the climbs, which is my fault for being lazy in recent history. I really do need to start working out more at home. I think I need to pick up running or something like that. Oh, anyway, I did say there was another tree that had a water source, and this one is just a trickle, but this is the other one I was talking about earlier. Kind of just goes right across the trail, or in this case, down it. I'm pretty sure this is the Chimney Rock outcrop. Over there you can see the first vista. I want to say that's where it is. And finally got to take a break and have a snack with a view. So can't complain too much, actually. But I'm not gonna lie, I kept quiet as the group passed by and the trail just behind me. Finally got a spot to sit down. Another quick stop at a vista. There's one more after this. So I confirmed that was not Chimney Rock. I was able to see it. I know I've been on top of it once, but there's just too many thorns in the area and I couldn't find a good way to get to it. So next time. The elusive Chimney Rock. But the vista I stopped at, yeah, it's a pretty good view. This one's not bad either. Tomorrow is all about you know, gorge hiking with little cascading waterfalls. Today is all about the vistas. Anyway, be at camp soon. So there's the last vista of the day. And looks like got some mullein growing here. Extremely soft leaves. Apparently makes good TP. And you can use it for hand drill, though I've never been successful with it. I'm close to camp. When you come into the boulder field section, and at this point, your knees and feet are pretty tired, in my experience. For today's review, we have the Sweetwater G13 IPA 420 strain. I assume that's a pothead reference, but I don't know. There's something different. I was about to just get two hazy little things, which would have been a good choice, but oh, it's not bad. Figure might as well have one beer now and one beer later around the fire. Almost had this one on the trail, but you know, I'll make it a reward for reaching camp. A little bit of motivation. So, campsite's got some pretty nifty camp furniture. Sitting in one now. It's a little stone recliner, and I'm probably gonna set up the tarp over there. Have a fire here. Got some firewood already sitting around camp. Not bad. Not bad at all. So I ended up with a really wonky pitch, my tarp, but did pretty good blocking the wind down. So that's really what matters. I was trying for modified plow point style pitch and it just wasn't working, so I went to an A-frame and just left this one side up to give myself some room to swing my legs into my bivvy. Worked out well enough. Alright, all packed up, heading out of camp. So I didn't film more stuff, but you know, kind of get distracted and forget to do that. Besides, the main goal of this trip was to get out, clear my head, and make sure my legs still work, which this hike still kicks my butt. So I guess I need to come back and do more hikes like this. Oh, boo-hoo. Anyway, I'm gonna hit the trail. More later. Made it to the Mau-Har trail. You can sort of see the D needs refreshing. But AT goes that way to the Thai River Suspension Bridge, Route 56. And this hooks through a gorge hike on the Mau-Har trail and meets back up at the Malapin Field Shelter in 3 miles, apparently. So, really need to get over the whole concept of people catching me filming myself. Feel really goofy about doing it, but I was getting ready to say I did catch reception coming out of camp, so it was nice to be able to call my wife and catch up with her this morning. She told me about my son's soccer game yesterday, which was apparently interesting. But anyway, now we're at the uphill portion. So embrace the suck. All right. This is a fun little slow down right on a switchback. Here. Might as well do a little bit of filming. Or at least some of it out of the way. So this is always one of my favorite sections of the trail. Up there at the top, you cross over, switch back, come down here, and cross over. And this just goes straight down. There's a campsite down there. The one time I tried to camp at it, it was full. And there's supposed to be a waterfall, but the only time I've seen it is from the trail. So maybe we'll see if we can catch it today. So I've been through here I don't know how many times, and I've never seen the falls. At least not up close. So you guys are lucky. Decided to film this hike, and I don't think the camera's going to do it justice. I'd have to get down there, shoot it here, but this is already enough of a scramble just to get where I'm at. So anyway, made it to the falls at least. Didn't get back on top of Chimney Rock itself, Chimney Rock proper. Still had a nice vista there though. So at least I found the falls. Kind of a pain in the butt to get down to, to be honest. But I decided to climb down a little lower. Pretty cool. Just give you guys a hint or idea of the trail. This is the gorge section, and you can see it follows these rocks up. It's basically just a big set of cascading waterfalls. Then eventually kind of flattens out for a bit. You hit some switchbacks, flattens out again, and you end up at the Maupin Field Shelter. I'd consider this trail, or this part of the loop, but specifically the Mau-Har trail, or at least this part of it, more technical, because there's lots of rocks. It's very steep. Some of it's scrambly. There's some wet rocks back there. And it's funny when people think this is going to be an easier bypass to the AT section. I disagree. It may be shorter, but it's difficult in its own right. There's steeper switchbacks, more technical rocky terrain in this stretch, and the nickname the Mau-Har trail is earned well. course, I just turned the camera off and come into a better example of what I'm talking about. Cascading falls, little pools, and here's your trail. So you just kind of weave your way up the rocks. And it's probably a stupid section to film on, but at least it'll give some folks a good idea what you can expect if you want to hike this loop. First time I did it, I was out of shape, like really out of shape. And I had a hard time finishing day 2. I was crawling out by the end. So, going up the last set of switchbacks, and same as every time I hike this trail this direction, they're kicking my butt. Basically, zigzagging up and down, all that. And working our way up there, which is where the Mau-Har field shelter is. Getting there slowly but surely.